Alright, so now we want to go ahead and code for Gobo, our prey. So first click on the sprite that you're using for your prey, Gobo in my case, and then you want to make sure you're in the code tab up here. And we're going to start off with the same events block when flag clicked. And again, we want to use a forever block so that it will keep doing this. Okay, and now under motion, we want it to go to, and we are going to give it an X and a Y coordinate. So go to, now we need to go to operators, because in operators we want to pick a random from -200 to 200. And this is for the x coordinate because the x-axis ranges from -200 to 200. And then the same thing for the y-axis. It also ranges from -200 to 200. So this way it'll bounce around anywhere on the screen. It'll start at any random spot on the screen. And so we want it to go to a random spot, and we want it to also under the motion block, we want it to point in direction. And again, back to operators, pick random, and we'll go 1 to 360. So it can be rotated any direction. All right, so we're going to have it go to a random location. Okay, so it's just bouncing around randomly, so it's not quite all we need to do though. Okay, we also need to add in this event block, or I'm sorry, a control block. So it's going to repeat until, so it's going to repeat until, and then back in sensing until it's touching. And at this point we need to select our predator, which is the ghost in my case. So it's going to repeat until touching ghost. What is it going to repeat until touching ghost? Well, back in motion, it's going to repeat this. So it's going to move a certain number of steps. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 10 for right now. And then it's also, we want it to, if on edge, bounce, because otherwise it'll just move right off the screen. Okay, so let's see if that's going to work for us. So now it's bouncing around the screen nicely, okay? And if the ghost touches him, he moves away to a new spot. He starts over by picking another random spot, you'll notice, okay? So when this guy touches him, he goes to another random spot. Now he moves to another random spot, and then he immediately starts moving those 10 steps again. So I'm going to add one more thing in here. Let's see, where would that be? I'm going to add this wait 1 second right here, except I'm going to change the 1 second to, let's do 0.5 seconds first of all. So now he's going to bounce around after he's caught. So after we catch him, he'll move to a new spot, stop for a minute, and then start moving again. So he's moving, 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 we catch him, and then he bounces to a new spot and then starts moving again in 0.5 seconds. In fact, you can even change it to 0.2 seconds if you want, or 0.3, so he'll start moving even faster after he's caught. And that looks good. Okay, so that's going to be all for now on Gobo. We'll change, or we'll add some things pretty soon. Alright. Okay, so the first variable that we are going to set up is the time variable. So I'm going to click on our predator or ghost, And then we're going to go down here to variables, and I'm going to choose make a variable, and I'm going to call this one time, and I'm going to leave this selected where it says for all sprites, and then I'm going to click OK. Alright, so now I'm going to go up here, and you know what, I'm just going to use a new line of code for this. It's going to make things a little easier. So make sure you're under your predator and the coding section, and drag in this when flag clicked to start a new line of code. So when the flag is clicked, we want to, under variables, set time to, I'm just going to do 10 for now, so that as we're testing it, we don't have to wait 20 or 30 seconds, but for the actual game, when we're done, we can set it back to 20 seconds, 30, 40, however long you want the game to run for. Okay, now we're going to go back to the control blocks, and we're going to drag in here a forever block, because again, we want this next action to happen over and over again. So forever, we want to change time by -1. So to get that negative sign, I just pressed the key next to 0, the key to the right of 0 on my keyboard. And it's just going to do that over and over again really, really fast. So what I need to do is use another control block, the wait 1 second block. So that way it'll wait a second and then change by -1. Wait a second and then change by -1. Now when it gets to 0, we want it to stop. So we're going to use this right here, if then block. And we're going to go if, and we want to say if time equals 0. So to do that, we need to use one of these operators, the one with the equal sign right here. Drag that in there, and we want it to say if time equals 0, then, and what we're going to do at that point is use this control block here that says stop all. So this means all of the sprites will stop moving. Okay, so let's test that out. So here we go, we're chasing him, catching him, and every time we catch him, he jumps away, and now we're out of time, and they all stopped. Okay, so next up we'll do the eaten variable.